All right, welcome back into Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. And speaking of the Cow Guy, don't move. I can't say don't change that dial because we don't have dials on TVs anymore. That's long gone. It dates me, I suppose. But let the TV do what it's going to do. At the top of the hour, we go into the Cow Guy close. That's 1 Central, 2 Eastern. Another great show. We've got 3 great guests. You'll see them on all the other channels. And obviously, it's election day. You've been living under a rock if you don't. So we have a lot to talk about. And you know what? These stories almost write themselves. I mean, some of them are just unbelievable. But we're going to do them all on the Cow Guy Close. That's 1 Central, 2 Eastern, right in front of you, this channel at the top of this hour. But if you can't make it because you got to go back out in the field, I know we got some field work still left to be done. We put it on the radio. That's rural radio, Sirius XM channel 147. We put it late afternoon, early evening. So 5 Central, 6 Eastern. On channel 147, that's rural radio. And then if you miss that one because it's dinner time or whatever, I get it. Well, we put it on really late at night, maybe when you're kind of getting up at 2 Central, 3 Eastern, rural radio, Sirius XM channel 147. So there's 2 places to listen, 1 place to watch. Watching's probably the best, or you can DVR it. But again, that's at top of this hour, 1 Central, 2 Eastern, the Cow Guy Close. All right, let's take a look and see what we've got going on with these markets. I'll bring up a corn board for you and see that we've been up around 2 to 2 1/4 cents all day, and we still are 2 cents better. And D's corn, 4.18 is last. We've had a small range of 4.5 cents, and we're right in the middle of it. So there you go. March is up 1.5 to 4.31 All right, so that's what's going on in corn. We're up anywhere between a penny to a penny and 3/4 all the way across that board. Soybeans are higher too, 6 1/4 cents higher than Nove, but that's kind of 9.93 is Nove. Let's move on though. Let's go to the Jan. It's up 3 1/4 cents. Guess what? That $10 line's in our sights here, right? We're just 1 tick above it, $10 1/4 cent. See if we can hang on to that. That's not good. We're only up 3 cents now. That's Jan. And we've got a $10.13 1/4 cents in March. So 10.13 1/4. That's up 1.5 cents. So let's keep an eye on that right now. Right, Jan's at 10.02, 10 1/4 over 10 1/2. So that's the market there. Watching the Jan. Let's move on to the wheat. Chicago wheat. That's unchanged. Well, basically it's half cent better in D's. 5.69 1/4 last. We're unchanged in March to 5.87 1/2. Hard red, Kansas City. That's up 3 1/4 cents in D's to 5.74 1/4. March is up 2 1/4 cents to 5.86. That's the hard red, up about 2 to 2 1/4 across the board. Spring wheat, that's higher as well by 3 3/4 cents up front. That's D, 6.08 3/4 is last. March trades at 6.29 3/4, up 2.5 cents. And then finally, cotton's been up small. Well, now it's down small, down 1 point. 69.92 is last there. Let's bring in our next guest analyst. He's batting cleanup today, Mr. Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge in Chicago. Ted, thanks for being on. All right. I don't know. Where do you want? There's not a lot going on. So where do you want to begin?
Yeah, I mean, we're just kind of stuck here, Scott. We're higher. That's great, but we are not breaking through yesterday's highs or anything. We are also not breaking out to the downside. We're holding support. We are waiting. We are waiting for the election, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you can really build different arguments on what happens if X wins or what happens if Y wins, or does anything happen, right? Do we need to see agricultural markets moving based on who wins the presidential election? That's kind of the argument that I'll take, but certainly we know there could be potential tariffs and things like that. So, I don't know. The markets wait to see what happens with that. Then we'll have the Fed on Thursday. Really, we'll be trading that Friday morning as we're getting ready for the next WASDE report.
Yep.
November WASDE reports aren't usually a big deal, but I think this year are, because we have kind of a different set of results from what we had for the first half of harvest versus the second half of harvest, specifically in soybeans, Scott, maybe not so much for corn, but, is that going to be reflected on the USDA's yield, or did they already have that factored in based on their test plots? And that's the big question. Now, you look at the average trade guesses for yields on Friday, and pretty much everybody has the soybean yield coming down just a little bit. It's a little bit more mixed on corn yield, although the average trade guess has corn yield coming down. I'm one of the 7 analysts, 7 out of 18. I'm in the minority that has corn yield actually going higher. I think corn did really well this year. So you do have some mixed opinions about what this report could say, and it could be a reaction. That might actually be the biggest thing of the week. Who knows?
Yep. Well, there's still, and whatever happens, I don't think we're going to get any clarity anyway. So we'll be talking about this for a while, I think, going forward. But I appreciate all that great content. Stay right there, though. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge. He's in Chicago. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's talk about some livestock here, right? I'm wearing a livestock jacket. It's the last time we're going to get together. We got a couple minutes to go through these. Let's go right to the live cattle. That's down 22 cents. Not a lot going on there. That's decent. 184.85 is last run change in Feb to 185.92. Let's move over to see what the feeders have got for us. They're just a little bit easier here, but we're hanging around unchanged. We're now lower by 2 cents. That's Nove. Let's go. Well, Nove is at 246.32 in case you care about Nove. Jan's down 15 cents to 242.27. So there you go. We're off anywhere between, say, 7 to 32 cents across the board when we talk about feeders. Lean hogs, they're also lower here. We've added to the downside here, Dees a little bit, but we're $2.15 lower to 81.07. We're a buck lower in Feb to 84.32. Let's bring back in. We have 60 seconds for him. Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge, coming to us from Chicago. What's anything jump out of you there, Ted? You only have about 45 seconds to kill.
Yeah, really very painfully quiet, I guess, in the cattle complex. However, we are at or near the lows of the day. We need to hold them because we've got very key support in the form of the 200-day moving average. That's not too far below the low of the day. If we break through that, that's going to suggest that the correction is done yet. In the meantime, speaking of corrections, you have a bit of a correction happening in the hogs market the last couple of days. It had gotten very, very overbought. We needed to do something to correct the RSIs, but I don't think it's a coincidence that you have higher stock market and lower lean hogs. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents, and I hope I fit it in time.
That's perfect timing. They're yelling cut at me right now as we speak, but it's good stuff. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I mean, boy, oh boy. Like I said earlier, this is my 15th election, and I don't remember the first one, but I definitely have vivid memories of the second. We'll see how this one turns up. But thanks for being on. Hopefully your afternoon works out for you, Ted Seifried, Zaner Ag Hedge, all the way from Chicago. Bring it back here to, I almost said London. What am I doing?
I don't know where you are today.
I don't either.
I think you're acting like there's an election going on.
There is an election going on, yeah.
The cow guy close coming up at the top of the hour. Scott, thank you.